Good morning, mamas. Welcome to our first prenatal video. I hope this finds you well. I hope that the pregnancy is treating you well and that you're feeling well. A reminder before we get started to just really be in tune with your body and with how you're feeling. As we go through our practice, if there are any poses or postures or exercises that don't feel right for you, that aren't feeling good, maybe just today and yesterday they felt okay, but today they're not feeling good, just honor those feelings and only do what feels right and what feels good for your body. You know yourselves better than I do. I am just here to guide and offer suggestions. But ultimately, this is your practice, and I just want everyone to feel really good and have a nice stretch. And obviously, clear the mind of some of that pregnancy anxiety. So with that being said, I invite you to find a comfortable seated position. You may want to stick a cushion or a rolled up blanket or towel under the hips, just to help you lengthen through the spine and also just add some padding as we come into our seated position. Maybe that position is cross-legged like myself, or maybe you prefer to have your back up against the wall and the legs out straight. And once you find that position, I invite you to close your eyes or soften your gaze as we begin to ground down, as we begin to go inside, and as we begin to make the transition from wherever we've come from today to our mat, letting go of anything that's happened today or anything that we need to get done later on. Let's just let all of that go. And let's come to the mat. Come to your practice. Come to the present moment. And to help us do that, we'll come to our breath. Maybe placing a hand on the belly. As we take a deep breath in and feel the belly expand, sending love and fresh oxygen to the baby. Maybe we take the other hand and place it on our heart. And feel the lungs fill up with that fresh air. And think of the breath as the rolling of the ocean waves. So as it comes in through the nose, and fills up the belly, and fills up the lungs and the chest, and then that wave rolls back out as you exhale through the nose or the mouth. So this ocean breath is a nice way just to keep yourself present, just focusing on those inhales and exhales like rolls of waves coming in and out. Maybe you now can feel the shoulders start to soften away. Maybe the sit bones are starting to ground down into your mat or your cushion. And if the mind starts to wander, that's okay. That's normal. Just acknowledge the thoughts or the concerns, the worries you're having. Acknowledge them and then let them go. Come back to your breath. Come back to the ocean, waves. Beautiful. And let your hands just come back to your legs, just resting gently on the thighs or the knees as we start to make little circles with the very tip of the nose. Just imagine maybe there's like a little dot of paint on the tip of your nose, and you're just going to draw a little circle in front of you. So we wake up the neck and the shoulders. Notice if you're carrying any tension anywhere. Moving through those spots with some extra care. And then changing directions when you're ready. Keep drawing those circles with the tip of the nose. Keep flowing with the breath. And then bring the head back to center. From here, let's take the left hand and just let it slide across the lower back. And we'll take the right hand and we'll reach over, grab the opposite ear. Just gently pull that ear away from the shoulder. As we create some space between the shoulder and the ear. Give a nice side stretch to the neck and into the shoulder. Breathing into that space. And then releasing. As we switch the arms and let the right forearm slide across the lower back, and we reach around to grab the ear with the left hand, pulling it away. Breathing into that space. Beautiful, and releasing and letting it go. From here, we're going to bring the hands to the heart center. We're going to interlace the fingers, and I just want you to draw the knuckles out straight in front. So feel that opening between the shoulder blades along the back. And then add a little tucked chin and a little rounded spine as we really accentuate the opening of the shoulders. Good, and then as we draw ourselves back up to sit up straight, keep the fingers interlaced, bring them under the chin, guide the head back. And let the head come back to neutral. Let's try that one more time. So stretching out, opening the shoulders, tuck the chin. And then bring the hands underneath the chin and guide the head back. And release back down. Beautiful. Let's take a big breath in. Send the arms all the way up overhead. And then press the palms away. And bring them all the way in behind. Interlace the fingers again behind this time. And then draw the shoulders back as we open up through the chest. Maybe take the gaze up to where the wall meets the ceiling. Good, and release. From here, you can remove that cushion or the blanket and just tuck it off to the side for now. I'm going to place my feet up in front, flat to the floor, my hands coming in behind. I'm just going to windshield wiper out the legs. to wake up the hips and give the legs a little stretch. You can take a nice wide stance here with the feet, making room for the belly, and just flowing from side to side at your own pace. Enjoying that stretch for the hips. Good, and then bringing yourself back to the center. I'm going to return to cross-legged here. I'm going to bring my hands to the knees as we come into our Sufi grind. So we're rotating the torso in a circle here. And as we open up the chest across the front, and then tucking the chin and rounding the spine across the back. So come back to that ocean breath here, or that idea of the rolling waves. As we inhale across the front of the mat and exhale across the back. Really bring the shoulders into it. Bring the spine into it. And really make it your own. And when you're ready, you can switch directions. Keep that idea of the rolling ocean waves along with your rolling breath. Closing your eyes if you'd like. And then making it all the way back to the center. Beautiful. Let's plant down with the left hand. Send the right arm over top. Maybe take the gaze up to that hand. Or maybe take the gaze to the bicep. And then switch. Right hand comes down, left hand comes over. And then we'll just take it from side to side. Flowing. Bring a little natural flow and movement to the hands and the arms and the elbows. And close your eyes as you allow yourself to go inside and not be so worried about what everyone else looks like. Just feeling out the movement and the music and the breath yourself. Feel the opening between the ribs and the hips on either side, making a little more space for baby. And then when you're ready, just bring it back to center. Let's send the legs out nice and straight. Give them a little shake, a little tap. Just waking them up. Good, and then taking a nice wide straddle. So again, you could slip that cushion or that blanket back underneath if you need a little lift. Otherwise, think about a puppet string, just pulling the crown of the head up, rooting down through the bottom, engaging the backs of the legs, flexing the toes up to the ceiling. Good, and then when you're ready, we're just gonna slide down the left side, sliding the hand down the shin. Maybe you reach the ankle, maybe you reach the foot, maybe you just reach the shin. And then with the right hand, we're gonna swipe right across the chest. Nice mindful movement, sending the hand up for our open twist. Good. Inhaling to bring yourself back to center, returning to that nice straight spine, flex toes, rooted bottom, and then sliding down the right side. Coming to the shin or the ankle, the foot or the toes. And when you're ready, swiping that hand across the chest. Big open twist. Beautiful. Come back to the center. Bring the soles of the feet together. Make a little sandwich with the bottoms of the feet. Wrap the fingers around the toes. If the belly's a little bit bigger and you're a little further along and there's not that space, just bring the hands to the shins as we come into butterfly or cobbler's pose. And I just want you to bounce the legs. And then from here, bringing the elbows to the thighs. And just see if you can press the legs down for a little extra stretch. So just guiding the legs down just to open up a little bit more through the inner thighs. If you need to slide the bottoms of the feet out a little bit to make space for the belly, you know best. Good, and then let's bring the hands in behind, feet flat to the floor, nice and wide as we come back to that beautiful windshield wiper. Good, and from here, we're just gonna transition to all fours. So you can just slide the knees off to one side, bring the hands to help bring yourself all the way down onto hands and knees, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. If you need to take some pressure off the wrists, you can always roll up your mat. You can come onto your fists, just to add a little cushioning for the wrists. And then from here, we're gonna just come into our cat-cow. So flowing at your own pace, and you're returning once again to that ocean, the rolling of the waves like the rolling of our spine, as we flow between our cat and our cow. This is a great opportunity here to practice zipping up your pelvic floor. So just pulling up that hammock and also engaging the core. So and bringing the belly button up toward your spine and in. So just allow the breath to flow at your own pace. And we'll take it 2 more cats, 2 more cows. And then returning back to a neutral spine, back to your table. And I just want you to walk the hands towards the knees as we come up all the way onto our knees and bring the hands to the hips or the lower back and come into a modified camel here. So opening up through the chest, just a little back bend, listening to your body here. Coming to the breath. Good. And then let's counter that back bend by bringing the toes together, big toes together, sending the knees nice and wide to the edges of your mat. Sliding the hips back, making lots of space for the belly and the bosom, and then just coming into our child's pose. So you can come all the way down onto your forehead. If you still don't have enough space for the belly here, you could stack fists and bring the forehead to the fists. You could grab a block and just come down onto your forearms. Just sending the breath to the lower back space, right? Just really enjoying filling up the back with breath, with fresh air. Calming the mind. If you're on your forehead on the mat or on your blocks, you can just roll the head from side to side, giving the third eye space a little massage. And then when you're ready, at your own pace, make your way back up to all fours, to your table, repositioning the wrists under the shoulders, knees under hips. And then from here, we're gonna extend the right leg out. I'm gonna flip my camera, so we're extending the right leg out and back. We're dropping the toes down. So the toes are on the floor. They're touched down here. And we're just gonna rock back and forth. So stretching through the back of the leg, the calf, the ankle. Remembering the core here, pulling that belly button up and in. Just a nice rock back and forth. Good, and then coming back to neutral, leave those toes planted down on the ground and just slide them behind the left side. So we're coming into a stretch, an opening between our side body and also a nice IT band stretch. To add a little to this, what I want you to do is just take the gaze over the left shoulder to look back at your toes. Good. Head comes back to center. We swipe the feet back. And then we bring that knee and just give a kiss to the elbow. And release back down. Same thing on the other side. Send the left leg out. Drop the toes down. Engage the core, bringing the belly button up and in. And then start that rock back and forth. Good. Bring it back to neutral. Toes are still on the ground as we slide them off behind the right leg. And then take the gaze over the shoulder. Feel that opening between the rib and the hip. On the left side this time. Good. And then we slide that foot back. Bring it back to the center. And then kiss knee to elbow and release. Good. Let's slide back coming off of our wrists here, giving our wrists a little break. So you can slide back and sit on the heels if that's comfortable, or you can swing the legs right around out in front. We're just gonna give the wrists a little break by drawing the fingers back. I'm gonna grab right at the pads of the hands, give the wrist a nice stretch. And then draw the fingers forward or the hand forward, stretching through the forearm. Good, same thing on the other side. And forward. We'll turn the fingers, the hands into two fists. Rotate through the wrists, both directions. And flick the fingers out. Good stuff. Bringing the hands to the knees. And we're going to do some shoulder rolls. We're going to use the palms or the pads of the fingers, the pads of the hands, to give the thighs a little massage. So you're going to rub as the shoulders go back and then press forward. So we're doing a little shoulder roll and just adding a little thigh massage to it. So drawing the shoulders up to the ears and back and then forwards. Good. And then let's just take the left arm across the chest. The right arm across the chest. And then we're going to make our way to standing. So, we're going to use the chair. I'm going to bring our chair here into the picture. So we come up to standing. Good. Just going to tilt this a little bit. Good. So we're going to come with chair on mat. To help it prevent it from sliding, we're going to bring the left hand to the back of the chair for support. We're going to start with just taking the right foot, the top of the foot, into the right hand. And I just want you to press the top of the foot into that hand, create a little stretch. If you feel yourself starting to collapse into that chair, just press in through that hip, straighten yourself up. Good. From here, let's bring the knee up. We'll flex the foot. So bottom of the foot is parallel to the floor, rooting down in that left foot, and then taking the inner thigh peeling it open. Again, being mindful of this collapse that happens. Good, and then when you're ready, just drawing the leg back in. We can do some circles with the ankle and the foot. And then release the leg back down. And we're just going to bounce that out a little bit. Give that standing leg a nice shake, a nice release. Roll up and down on the feet. Good. And then from there, we're just going to move the chair to the other side, or we're going to move ourselves to the other side. And do the same thing, using the back of the chair to bring the top of that foot into the left hand. We'll press the foot down into the hand, doing that That nice stretch of the quad. Good. And then we're going to draw it all the way up, coming into our balancing pose. Using the back of the chair if you need to. I'll take the inner thigh, draw the leg open. Don't be afraid to use the hand to help out. Or put the hand on the hip. Good. Draw the leg back in. We'll roll out the ankle, the foot. You know those ankles can get swollen during pregnancy. I know mine did. Good, and then bouncing it back out again. And giving the legs a little shake. Good, we're gonna turn the chair once more. So we have the back of the chair for both hands to come onto. We'll take a nice wide stance as we come into a forward fold here. So I'm just taking the weight onto the back of that chair. Make sure your chair's on the mat so it's not gonna slip. And we're just gonna come and fold here. Enjoy that. Soften the knees so we don't strain them. Come back to your breath. Beautiful. Good. And then we'll walk ourselves back up. We'll just send the chair off to the side for now. Coming back to the center. And we're just going to twist that out. Nice flowing twists. Let the arms be free, releasing the lower back. Just coming, again, one of those free motion movements. Closing your eyes if that helps you feel less self-conscious and just enjoying that twist. Good. And then slowly coming back to the center. We're going to take a nice big breath in, sending the hands all the way up and over. And then just tipping off to the left to come into our moon pose, our crescent moon. Creating some space between the rib and the hip. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, let the arms float down. Inhale, send the arms back up, palms together. And crescent moon off to the right. Inhale, up to center. Exhale, the arms come down. We're going to take a nice wide stance here as we bring the hands to the thighs, coming into a little bit of a huddle. So imagine you're in a little football huddle. I'm just going to roll one shoulder in and then the other. We have a nice wide support base here with the legs wide and the knees bent. And then coming back to center, we're going to come into goddess pose. So what I want you to do is just angle the toes out slightly. Imagine they're shooting to the corners of your yoga mat. And we're just going to slide down. Now here, perfect opportunity to take a load off and use the wall. So I'm just going to slide down against the wall, right? Use that support when you have it, when you need it. So sliding down